I was standing in our driveway, barefoot, holding a coffee mug I didn't even realize had shattered in my hand. Blood was dripping down my palm, but I couldn't feel it, because all I could see was the empty spot where his car used to be. Gone. And I knew, without checking, that he'd taken all his things. Because this time, he wasn't slamming the door for drama. This time, he wasn't coming back. You'd think I'd be crying. I wasn't. I just kept hearing my own voice from 2 weeks ago, laughing in his face when he told me not to go on that trip. Told me if I crossed that line, it was over. And I crossed it. Hard. I went anyway. Did exactly what he was afraid I would. And then I posted the photo. Not because I was brave. Not because I didn't care. But because some part of me wanted to see what would happen if I broke something on purpose. And now, I'm living with the fallout. Before I tell you what happened next, make sure you're watching this alone, because I'm about to admit things I've never said out loud, not even to myself. I guess I should have known something was wrong when he started organizing the kitchen cabinets. Liam was never the type to care if spices were alphabetized or if we had too many mugs. But that Thursday night, I came home to him kneeling on the floor, muttering to himself as he rearranged the Tupperware drawer. "What are you doing?" I asked. He didn't look at me. "Getting rid of things that don't belong." I laughed, awkwardly. "Okay, ominous much?" That's when he looked up, eyes bloodshot. Not angry. Not even sad. Just empty. And I knew. This wasn't about the kitchen. I'm Emery. I'm 31. I run a mid-size event planning business that eats my life during wedding season. Liam's a high school art teacher who never wanted anything flashy, just peace, routine, and me. We'd been together 7 years, married for 5. Or at least, we were. Until I booked a trip I shouldn't have. Well, that's not exactly true. The trip itself wasn't the problem. The person going with me was Julian. God. Even saying his name now, I feel the heat crawl up my neck. Julian was my business partner. But more than that, he was my best friend. We started the company together. Laughed through late nights, cried through client disasters, survived the pandemic keeping each other sane. We knew everything about each other. Except for boundaries. We were a little blurred. To be clear, Julian and I had never hooked up. Not even close. But we had this spark. The kind you don't act on, but you feel it humming under everything. Liam never liked it. Said it felt like I had one foot out the door emotionally. I always rolled my eyes and told him he was being paranoid. But this time? He wasn't. Julian had booked us a business getaway, 4 days at a boutique resort in Tulum, with beachfront suites and mojito tastings for the clients. Yeah, right. I told Liam 2 weeks before the flight. We were at dinner, halfway through a bottle of wine, and I casually mentioned I'd need him to dog sit while I was in Mexico. He froze. "You're going with Julian?" "Yes. It's mostly work." He didn't answer. Just got up and cleared his plate, like he couldn't even finish the meal. That night, he slept on the couch. The next day, he sat me down in the living room. Calm. Distant. Wearing the hoodie he only wore when something was seriously wrong. "I'm not okay with this," he said. "You and Julian. The trip. Everything." "Liam," I sighed. "You've always been jealous of him. It's exhausting." "Jealous?" His voice cracked. "Emery, you confide in him more than me. You travel with him. You flirt with him in front of me. And now you're going on a luxury beach trip with him and calling it work?" I opened my mouth to argue, then closed it. He wasn't wrong. Still, I hated the way he was painting me. Like I was some reckless girl chasing forbidden flings. I wasn't. I was just in control of my life. I made my own choices. And Liam had known who I was when he married me. I'm going, I said finally. If that's a deal breaker, then I guess we've got bigger problems. He stared at me like I'd slapped him. And that was the last real conversation we had before I left. Tulum was, predictably, stunning. Palm trees swaying, cocktails arriving in coconuts, glowing turquoise water. Julian greeted me at the resort with a hug that lasted 2 seconds too long. I'm so glad you came, he whispered. We were sharing a suite. There were 2 beds, technically. I made sure to Instagram that. The first 2 days were innocent enough. Strategy meetings by the pool. Researching vendors. Light banter over overpriced ceviche. But I could feel something shifting. On the 3rd night, it was raining, this warm, tropical downpour that soaked the wooden walkways. We stayed in, drinking mezcal and listening to 90s playlists on the balcony. He asked if I was happy in my marriage. I laughed it off. Then he asked again. I told him I didn't know. Somewhere between the 4th and 5th drink, we took a photo, me in a robe, him shirtless, holding up 2 glasses. I posted it with the caption, "Business isn't always boring." Asterisk. I don't know why I did it. To make Liam jealous? To prove something? To feel like I was wanted by someone? Whatever it was, it worked. Because 5 minutes later, Liam's name popped up on my screen. One text. Don't come home. I stared at it for a full minute. Then I locked my phone and poured another drink. When I got back 3 days later, the house was quiet. Half empty. His clothes were gone. Drawers open. Dog food bag rolled up and missing. And a yellow post-it stuck to the bathroom mirror. If you're still wondering whether that photo crossed a line, the answer is yes. That was it. I sat on the floor for 2 hours with my makeup bag in my lap, shaking. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't. I told myself it was just space. A cooling off period. He'd come back. But deep down, I knew this wasn't a break. This was the beginning of the end. I didn't hear from Liam for 8 days. Not a call. Not a text. Not even a "can I grab the charger I left behind?" I went from furious to terrified somewhere around day 4. At first, I told myself he was being dramatic. That he just needed time to cool off. But the longer the silence stretched, the more I realized he wasn't punishing me. He was letting go. Julian kept checking in, of course. Sending heart emojis and memes like everything was fine. I told him I was processing and needed space. What I really needed was to be alone, completely alone, so I could stop pretending I hadn't just burned my marriage to the ground over a half-naked photo and a tequila high. Day 9, Liam finally texted. Dinner. Tomorrow. Just to talk. I stared at the message so long my eyes blurred. He chose the Ethiopian place we always went to for anniversaries. I thought that was a good sign. I wore the dress he bought me last Christmas, the one with the slit he used to love. I practiced my apology in the mirror 10 times. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to own it, make him believe I still deserved us. But when he walked in, everything changed. He looked calm. Tired. Not angry. Worse. Indifferent. Thanks for coming, I said, standing to hug him. He just nodded, taking his seat without touching me. I tried to ease in gently. I know things got out of hand. He didn't respond. I messed up, I continued. I let things get blurry. With Julian. With boundaries. I know that. Still nothing. Liam, I miss you. He finally looked at me. His eyes didn't soften. You don't miss me, he said. You miss the version of me who tolerated all your shit. My breath caught. That's not fair. Isn't it? He said, leaning back. You knew what you were doing when you posted that photo. And don't tell me it was just business. You don't pose like that with a business partner. You don't caption it like that unless you're trying to send a message. I was drunk, I whispered. He laughed bitterly. So was I, drunk on hope. That maybe, somehow, I still mattered to you. Silence. Then he reached into his jacket and slid a manila envelope across the table. I didn't need to open it to know what it was. Liam. This isn't punishment, he said. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just done begging to be enough. I sat frozen. I wanted to scream. Apologize. Grab his hand. Make a scene. Instead, I asked the only question I could think of. Was there someone else? He raised his eyebrows. You don't get to ask that. Fair. After he left, I sat at that table until the server gently asked if I needed anything else. I nodded, ordered 2 glasses of wine, and drank them both alone. The next few weeks were a blur of paperwork, missed deadlines, and quiet judgment. Word got around. Fast. Apparently someone on Julian's team had screenshotted the robe photo before I deleted it. And now it was making the rounds in our professional circles, disguised as gossip, but really just fuel for people who already thought I slept my way through success. Worse, I started noticing clients ghosting. Inquiries dropping. Vendor responses drying up. Julian tried to reassure me, said it would blow over, but I saw the worry in his face. Then came the worst part. His girlfriend, Elise, showed up at my office. I didn't even know they were still together. She looked like someone who'd spent hours rehearsing the confrontation. Hi, she said, stepping into the lobby like she owned it. Can we talk? I glanced at Julian's door. He's not here. Good, she smiled. Because I'm here for you. We stepped outside. She lit a cigarette with shaking fingers. I just want to know, she said. Was it worth it? I blinked. What? Wrecking your marriage. Tanking your rep, humiliating me. Was it worth it for a guy who still texts me when he's drunk? I felt slapped. Elise, nothing happened? Oh, save it, she cut in. Julian tells everyone what they want to hear. But you? You should have known better. You're not some intern with a crush. You're his business partner. And still, you acted like some teenage cliché. I said nothing. She flicked the cigarette, watching the ash fall. Just so you know, you weren't the first. And you won't be the last. Then she walked away. That night, I spiraled. I lay in bed scrolling through old photos of Liam and me, ski trips, brunch selfies, our dog's birthday party with the stupid little hat. I missed everything. His steadiness. His smell. The way he looked at me when he thought I wasn't watching. And I missed myself. The version of me who didn't need validation from likes or flirty comments or almost kisses to feel alive. So I did something I hadn't done in years. I called my mom. She picked up on the third ring. Emery? Yeah, I croaked. Can I come over? She didn't ask questions. She made tea. Didn't say much. Just sat with me while I cried harder than I had in a decade. Then she finally spoke. "You built a beautiful life. And you set it on fire." I nodded. "I know." She reached over and touched my hand. "Then maybe it's time to stop pretending you're the victim in your own story." And somehow, that hit harder than anything Liam ever said. I didn't expect him to answer. But after 3 weeks of silence, 2 missed calls, and 1 very public breakdown in my car outside Trader Joe's, I dialed Liam's number again. And this time, he picked up. His voice was flat. "Emery. I'm not asking for anything," I said, already crying. I need to see you. One last time." There was a pause so long I thought he'd hung up. "Then, tomorrow. 5 p.m. The park by the school." I exhaled so hard I almost sobbed. It rained the next day, of course. Because of course it did. I stood under a crooked gazebo in my nicest coat, holding the letter I'd written him, pages and pages of the truth I never had the guts to say to his face. I kept checking the time, silently begging the universe to let me fix this, even if I didn't deserve to. He arrived 10 minutes late. Umbrella. Clean shave. That same hoodie under his pea coat. God, he looked tired. Not in a sick way. In a healed way. Like he'd spent the last month shedding the weight I had dragged him down with. "I wasn't sure you'd come," I said. He didn't smile. Just said, "I almost didn't." I handed him the letter. "You don't have to read it now. Or ever. But I needed to write it." He took it. Tucked it into his coat without opening it. Silence stretched between us. Then I asked the one thing I'd been avoiding. "Do you hate me?" He looked at me for a long moment. "No," he said. "I don't hate you. But I don't trust you either." I nodded. "Fair. I think," he continued slowly, "that you spent a lot of years convincing yourself that being independent meant never needing to compromise. Never being accountable. But real relationships, they demand both." "I know," I whispered. "I learned that the hard way." He raised an eyebrow. "Did you?" And that stung. Because I thought I had. "I lost clients," I said. "Julian and I, things are weird. I'm pretty sure our company's going under. Everyone thinks I slept with him, and honestly, I don't blame them. I ruined everything." He tilted his head. "Is that what this is? Regret because of what you lost? Or remorse for what you did?" I didn't answer. Because I wasn't sure anymore. He nodded like that told him everything he needed to know. "Take care of yourself, Emery." Then he turned and walked away. And I let him. I wish I could say that was the moment I changed. That I got therapy, read self-help books, started hiking, whatever people on the internet claim heals you. But the truth is messier. I spent months in limbo, half grieving, half clinging to some delusional hope that he'd come back. Julian and I stopped working together 3 months later. He got a new investor. I got a buyout check and a silent goodbye. No dramatic blow-up. Just the slow fizzle of something that was never real to begin with. The photo? Still floating around online. Occasionally resurfacing in comments or group chats like a cursed relic. And every time I see it, I want to reach back in time and slap the phone out of my own hand. I still live in the same apartment. I still drink too much wine on Thursdays. I still listen to Liam's old playlists when I drive at night. Some days I feel okay. Most days, I don't. But there's one thing that changed. Last week, I ran into Elise again. The ex-girlfriend. She was with someone new, tall, kind eyes, holding her hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. We locked eyes across the cafe. She gave me a nod. Not pity. Not forgiveness. Just acknowledgement. Like, yeah. Get up. But you're still here. And somehow, that meant more than any apology I could have begged for. Liam and I are officially divorced now. It happened quietly. No courtroom drama. Just papers, pens, and a final signature. When I got home from the notary, I poured a glass of wine, sat on the floor of my living room, and finally read the copy of the letter I'd given him. The one I kept for myself. I'd written, "I didn't cheat with my body. But I betrayed you with my choices. I made you feel small to make myself feel powerful. I confused freedom with selfishness, and I used your love as a safety net instead of a partnership. I don't know who I am without control. But I'm starting to learn. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that you were right. You always were." I folded the letter back up. Put it in a box with our wedding photo, the dog's old leash, and the keychain he gave me that said "You got this." And I finally let myself cry. Not for the marriage. But for the woman I used to be. And the one I might finally become.